And we are live. You can say hello. Hello.
Hello, hello. I was waiting for a bit of an
I
introduction or
know. I
something.
know. I know. That was just your cue. I know. I'm not. I'm a pro at these things. I just.
Ah,
Yesterday, the intro was Grit saying, "I'm here to cast, baby."
oh, that's a good one too.
So yeah, hello everybody. Today, myself and Nextras are going to be casting a Division D East match. It's going to be Killer Meteors versus Infernal Affairs, and we are going to start on Dragonshire, as if it wasn't obvious.
Yes, neither of the teams played Dragonshire so far by the looks of things, so it's going to be some new stuff for both of the teams this season, at least. Hoping what we're gonna see here. Let me just take a quick look at the statistics to see if they played any solid offlaners. They do play the Haka and Leoric. None of them is, and the Killer Meteors actually play Gazmo, so it's gonna be some interesting potential for 1v1s. I like the Haka on this map as well. So
Okay, and we of course get a. You said somebody on Killer Meteors plays Leo, or
yeah, it was Infernal Affairs. Play Leoric.
oh, Infernal Affairs is the team that banned Leo. I guess they don't want to see it on the enemy side. And of course, we're gonna see a Johanna ban. Pretty standard. The enemy team actually they have first pick, meaning I guess they're really not interested in playing Johanna.
Well, they're just doing a bit of a tank choke here. Rhaegar again getting banned. Even though he was nerfed, he's still a pretty strong support, and a lot of people are just still in the mindset of, well, let's get rid of the doggo, let's not deal with him, even though, personally, I think Stukov is much more obnoxious to deal with, despite not having cleanse, than Rhaegar is at the moment. So I'm gonna see what hero they deem worthy of first picking, and it is a little fruit fly.
I will agree that Stukov is a little more obnoxious to deal with. Here we see him. However, I feel like he's a little bit more easier to counter than Rhaegar is, since essentially you just dive it and he dies, kind of.
He does have a bit of HP for a healer, but still, he's a healer, so he's a bit squishy. There's the Cassia as well. It's a bit of an early pick for Cassia. I feel like she also can get quite countered by heavy CC, but I like the hero, although I don't think she's much of a first pick material, but she can definitely be played. And the enemies respond with Orphea Noob. I love Orphea every time. I probably have mentioned it a few times before. I love seeing Orphea play. It's such a hero who gets incredible in right hands.
Yeah, and we're gonna see Anna Nubarak. Were you talking? Wait, I already forgot. Were you talking about Orphea or Anubarak?
Orphea.
Okay, yes, and now we see Anna Nubarak. He's definitely one of the strongest tanks in my opinion. However, it's as well one of the most difficult to play. He is a little bit squishy, so any engage that he makes has to return in a kill, or he might just die. And we're gonna see an Elnira ban from the side of Infernal Affairs. Very meta hero. We just see it everywhere. And a Hanzo from Killer Meteors. Wonder if that's a target ban.
Hans is just generally a good hero overall. I mean, he just fits almost everywhere and every time. You just want range DPS. Hans is just a safe pick. Killer Meteors, they do like to play their Beetle. They played them already this season, so it's definitely a comfort pick. In the meantime, it's Infernal Affairs. Yes, it's Infernal Affairs on the right. I don't see the names of the teams on my screen. They pick Mei, and Gul'dan. Mei being super strong tank at the moment, being also very, very safe. So this is not surprising here. And the Gul'dan, which is, well, gonna have a lot of weight for, that's for sure.
Yep, he does have a Tychus into double blind, which might be a little troublesome for him later on, since I imagine that he will get focused with the blinds. However, Orphea does have a lot of her damage on her auto attacks. And we're going to see a last pick Yrel. Not something that you see very often, but very threatening if played well.
Yeah, I think Yrel is one of the hardest bruisers to play, along with Hogger. And a while ago, I was really thinking that there aren't many people left in the world who can actually play Yrel properly. So I'm hoping to see some really sick plays there. I'm honestly not sure how Sonya does versus Yrel, since myself I don't have an opportunity to play versus Yrel very often. But I feel like this is a relatively even matchup, and a lot depends on the skill of both players.
And which team are you favoring based on these drafts so far?
It is hard to say. I mean, the blue team gets a little bit countered by all the blinds because most of their damage is auto attack. But I do like the potential blow up with the Anubarak engage if it lands. Cassia completely loses her armor if she gets stunned. So we go down who's super immobile. So it all comes down to those blow ups. And let me put some faith onto the blue team that want to be able to execute those combos and secure a bunch of kills.
I think I will have to agree with you. They are very aggressive, and they have a lot of CC, which Gul'dan and Cassia definitely struggle to, since if she stands still too long, she just dies, and Gul'dan, well, it's only one of his skill shots, but the suck does require for him to be sitting still.
Heroes, prepare for combat.
All right, let us introduce the teams. And we have on the left the blue team, that is Killer Meteors. We have Phase Shifter playing Sonya, True Afro playing Tychus, Zing on Brightwing, Dream Crusher on Anubarak. He's going to crush the enemy's dreams of winning this game, and I cut it on Morphia.
And on the red side, for Infernal Affairs, we're going to see Nate Thaniel, playing the Irel, and Ragu playing, I can't see what hero that is. Stukov, thank you. They all look the same to me. Jabba playing Cassia, Stro on Mei, and who's the last guy? Hexblades on Gul'dan.
Let's take a look at the build. Standard Q quest for Cassia. Gul'dan actually going for suck build, which is interesting, especially that we mentioned enemies having a lot of CC, and Orphea has a lot of skill shots, so I'm not sure if he's gonna stand still, but he opted for a bit of a suck build. Everything else seems to be relatively standard. W build for Sonya, grenade build for Tychus. That's also a good. Sometimes Tychus opt to go for the range one, which is also a good idea, but nothing wrong with a bit of a grenade action. And both teams seem to be doing standard, also laner stop, and the rest rotates mid-bot.
It appears that Stukov has opted to go for this, the last meta silence build. It is definitely interesting that Gul'dan has opted to go for the suck build, considering the amount of CC the enemy team has, and if he gets interrupted, that's immediately no value on that. And I feel like that's going to cost them later on. We're going to see an Anubarak engaging here on the Gul'dan. However, it looks like the team's not going to follow very hard on that engage. And it looks like we are missing waves mid. Mostly the red side.
Yeah, a little bit of XP loss, but nothing really too serious. Both teams look to be posturing around the camps as we speak. The red team has started it, the blues not just yet. I think the problem a little bit is that both DPSs are relatively short range on the side of Killer Meteors, which means if Anubarak goes in very, very deep, he might be just outranging his DPS, so he might not get any follow-up. So this could be something that they need to keep in mind from those engages. And meanwhile, Orphea isn't in trouble. She was very deep, Mei slid onto her, landed a stun, and she does go down despite Anoob's efforts to try to help save her.
Yeah, that puts Infernal Affairs in a slight advantage. They already have talents level 4. They are a little bit ahead. They are likely going to be able to push here, at least get a wall, or at least half a wall. On the top side, looks like Sonya's just holding her own against Irel. They both seem pretty even in that aspect.
Nice XP lead. Go on.
Oh, there's gonna be a stun on the Brightwing. We're gonna see it's a weighted pistol coming out from Stukov. Almost kills the Brightwing, but unfortunately the silence did not land.
Irel opted to do some double soaking in the mid while the red team is pushing bot after doing quite significant damage to the members of the Meteors, and the front wall is down. That has actually been quite impressive. The amount of siege damage they've been able to do with the siege giants, clearing the enemy camp and taking down the entire wall. That's a lot of damage, but the blue team right now is coming back with vengeance. Solid damage versus Mei. Tychus popping his trade, doing a ton of damage. Mei has to pop, run away, and fight seems to be useless for now, but the Orphea coming in. Oh, but the unfortunate knockback from Tychus.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot more value than I was expecting, and Irel has done a great job at keeping the wave prio on the top lane. We're going to see a fight here breaking out. Teams are getting rather low, however, we're not going to see any kills just yet. It looks like we're going to choose to disengage rather than commit super hard. Meanwhile, I thought they were going to go for a potential gank mid. However, he just turns around, and Anubarak has, like, no health. However, he is just staying in. Might want to heal there. Anub. He's going to be able to burrow out on the last minute. Mei is very, very low as well, so neither team is going to be looking for any engages. Brightwing is going to choose to Hearth. Probably has Z available to come back in. And she does.
Yeah, that's been a very heavy brawl bot so far by the both teams. Meanwhile, both offlaners are trying to simultaneously hold the top objective and double soak top in mid. And considering that neither of both players is just insanely strong, they've been struggling a little. Oh my god, there's a lot of damage against Orphea, and Stukov low blow follow up absolutely murders her. She ate the entire Fend and the silence from Stukov. No, and Nubarak is super low, but a polymorph onto the Mei saves his life, so that was really well played. But we have a almost full level lead on the side of Infernal Affairs, and they already have the both points, and Sonya's trying to stop Irel from channeling it, but they opted to push for the bottom fort.
Yeah, it looks like Rel has done a little bit of a better job here soaking top and mid, allowing her team to just full commit to this bot lane. It is a triple camp lane, so typically you do want to push bot lane. However, it looks like blue team is falling behind slowly, and they need to make something happen. Cassia here getting attacked by the Orphea. She's gonna be in a good spot. Meanwhile, the enemy team is getting the camp, and I'm saying enemy team even though they are not against me.
But they're in red, and red is always means enemy. You know how it goes. Sonya decided to go for the Poison Spear for the extra 1v1 potential against Irel. And so far, neither of the solo lane is dropping low at any point. Oh my god, it's gonna be massive 3-man stun from Mei, followed up by Silence, followed up by Fan, and 2 members of the blue team are dead. Make that 3. Are we gonna make that 4? As Dream Crusher is desperately trying to stay alive, but he's not gonna live longer. That's a 4-man team wipe. Absolutely incredibly well played by the red team, landing that fantastic stun and big DPS follow-up. That fort is surely gone.
Yeah, that was definitely an excellent engage here coming up from the Mei with that triple stun, and Ragu here definitely paying attention, getting that triple silence right under immediately, and they didn't really stand a chance after that. So with level 10, we secured top shrine. It looks like Brightwing went up there, and we're gonna see a 2v1 here happening with Irel. She should be able to, oh, not, she does have the ult. She's gonna fall very low. Very good. The blue team went ahead and stopped hitting her. However, she is going to fall for the Dragon Knight.
That was a worthy sacrifice. My commendable play by the blue team to immediately disengage from the ultimate, but it gave red team enough time to secure a DK and level 11 versus almost level 9 on the opposing side, so this is a massive advantage. They have the ultimates, so there's Horrified, there's Valkyrie, massive shove and Ice Wall, some really good potential plays. Enemies just getting the level 10, but that mid fort is going to die for sure. Maybe they're going to be able to put some pressure on Turkey.
Yeah, and just to quickly go over the ults here, we did see the leap on Sonya, Odin on Tychus, Blink Heal for the Brightwing, Cocoon and a Nubarak, and Orphea goes Eternal Feast, which is definitely reliant on everybody staying put, so hopefully we can layer that CC properly.
They don't have massive amounts of AoE CC to lock down targets for the duration, I feel like. I mean, Nubarak has something unless Sonya... Oh! Meanwhile, Nuburo's in deep, and there's a great ass for landing on 2 people. There's Cocoon on Acacia, but there's gonna be massive, oh my god, massive follow-up of absolutely every AoE button they have in their arsenal, killing 2 members of the blue team right away. There's a Fend coming in, Orphea eating an entire Fend and dying, and Nubarak has nothing else to do but burrow out and hope he gets out alive.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if your DPS is cocooned when you have a Stukov on your team.
I gotta say that Cassia Fend is doing absolute God's work in those engages. It does a lot of damage if you eat the whole of it, and now the red team is 2-level lead, which is huge.
I was kind of hoping to see a flank leap coming up from the Sonya. Irel actually made it to the fight, and Sonya actually never showed up, so at that point, her team was dead. However, I just wanted to see a little cheeky flank. I do like me some leap Sonya.
Yeah, nothing like a good solo lane flank to turn in the tide of the battle, but feels like Sonya was trying to grab the XP, close that gap that's happening right now. Gul'dan is going for full on W. Every single time he's picked is on full on W, so that is definitely interesting. He's now popping a lot of damage, and he's sitting at 28k damage, which is quite a lot, as opposed to 14.5 from Tychus, who is the highest on his team, so definitely putting our work with the Suk.
The red team gets a little bit of value here. They do get a little bit of that keep health down, and then just gonna opt to retreat instead and just go for the siege camp. Meanwhile, Sonya is helping her team on the Bruiser camp, but Irel is getting some push value here while they do that, and there's some little globies to be picked up.
Still 2-level XP lead for the Infernal Affairs, so that is definitely big for them. There's gonna be some nice battle between Sonya and Rel. I love like both players are dancing and not really willing to engage. There we go. There is some fighting. I don't expect anything exciting up top. Meanwhile, the red team is trying to secure the objective as the camps are clashing in the top lane.
Okay, now at the moment, both shrines being secured by the red team. Sonya falling very low on the top lane. However, it looks like she might be fine. We're going to see a suck going out on the Nubrak Brightwing Z, helping him stay alive. We're going to see a Valkyrie coming out on the Orphea connect. And a shove. Oh, Tychus. Unfortunately, that's a little too more damage for him, so he's just going to go and down. And looks like Orphea either died to the wave or residual damage. I'm going to say it was the wave.
Orphea was actually 1 HP in the meantime, and Nubarak actually drops down. Orphea was literally 1 HP from that fight, and the ranged minion just shot her in the face and she fell over. Very, very unfortunate there, which gives the red team 3-level advantage, 16 to 13, and a DK marching right at the keep. This could potentially be the game if they get a couple kills, because the Meteors are now spawning. The Odin is still very far away, so they're not going to have this for the defense, but there's also a Siege Giant pushing through the bot.
Yep, they have a full siege camp as well as a catapult and DK. Sonya's still in the top lane. I understand you're an offlaner, but at this point you might want to help your team defense, because then, oh, she just backed. And hopefully we can see a defense here and maybe a combat coming out from Killer Meteors. They're going to lead a lot, though. The core is rapidly falling, so I don't see a world in which they do not end here.
Yeah, right now they're stepping up on it, doing damage. There's Siege Giants, there's a catapult. It looks like it's going to be very quick, a very decisive victory from the side of Infernal Affairs. Very dominant performance by them.
Yeah, but looks like we were both wrong.
Oh, well, we indeed were, unfortunately. They had a lot of potential in the draft, but the red team just absolutely crushed it.
Yeah, it was a dominant match from start to finish. It's like the blue side couldn't really do anything. They were just playing reactively and from behind the entire time. We only saw one pickup, and it was on a rail on that top shrine for the DK capture. Outside of that, not a lot else happened. Sonya has top everything on the blue side, so that's gotta say something as well.
Yeah, the fights were over so quickly that neither Tychus nor Orphea could really do much. They were just getting blown up and damaged. The Mei Stukov combo was absolutely disgusting, landing that stun, then landing the silence with the low blow, and Cassia jumping in with fan damage was absolutely insane and enough to drop anybody on the side of the blue team. So they couldn't really do a whole lot, and those engages were absolutely brilliant from the side of Infernal Affairs, and no, definitely strong performance there.
Yeah, and it looks like my transition is the right volume.
Yay, there we go. I also sadly missed it. I'm gonna have to wait for it next time.
Yeah, I'm just quickly looking at the talents here. Not often see a Q build Brightwing. You don't get that. I don't think that you get that. You don't get as much healing with that. Typically, you go either AOE build, which is this magic spade on 4 with the I don't know what the name of the talent is, but it's the E on 7, or you just go Z on 7 for a little bit of shields there. Brightwing herself doesn't really output that much healing, so anything that can help you there. Q build, unfortunately, requires a little bit more skill there, so getting a zap on Chad. Let's not do that. And outside of that, do you see anything else that catches your eye? I'm not sure about the Whirlwind on 4. I do know that it does remove the slows, however, nobody was really slowing her very much.
Yeah, I mean, it was mostly oriented for the team fight, but then Sonya wasn't really in the team fights a lot. It doesn't much help versus Irel. I'm a huge fan of Shot of Fury at level 4, which would definitely be helpful, or even the W talent. They do have the Mei slow and the Stukov slow. I suppose that was probably to remove that. I'm not sure if this was warranted, although the level 4 isn't all that impactful, so I don't think it was a major issue.
Alright, just waiting for the next lobby to be up. Let's see. Wait, why does it say that they're in game? What happened? Did they forget about me? Okay.
Let's hope not.
Oh, there it is. Looks like we're gonna be going to Infernal Shrines.
Oh, well. Color me surprised. What a novel map it is. It's an absolute fan favorite in Heroes Lounge. Not sure how the statistics go for NGS. But I assume it's also quite popular, since generally it is a very popular map. Everyone loves it.
It's definitely one of my favorites. There's always something to do.
I like it too, because Leoric is very good on this map, and I like Leoric.
It looks like you're a team captain now.
Oh, yay! I'm gonna solo these guys now. Just watch.
Alright, so I'm just quickly here showing the maps that are in the pool. We have Killer Meteors here, went ahead and banned Braxis and Volskaya. And Infernal Affairs banning Cursed Hollow and Tomb of the Spatter Queen. I'm not sure about the stats. I did not look at the stats. So what did you find in the stats regarding maps?
So Infernal Affairs, they like playing Braxis and they like playing towers. They play these this season. Now, again, this season has been out for a short time, so you don't have a lot of data on them. The Killer Meteors, they do play Cursed. They play Shrines, and they play Sky Temples. So Shrines might be a little bit of a comfort for Meteors. Hopefully it's going to give them a bit of an edge in the second game.
Probably should have looked at these things, but I did not.
Yeah, no, I did my homework. At least that one time. Although I'm pretty sure that every team knows how to play Infernal Shrines. You know, it's such a popular map.
Yep, I'm just kind of trying to avoid the dog on the stream. That's why I'm so quiet. She decided it was with time. Oh, it looks like both teams are ready, so I'm just going to put mine in. And we're going to get... Oh, never mind! It looks like they forgot to select the first pick again. So, we're not going just yet, but we will go in a second.
Yeah, the teams are new to making lobbies. So, fortunately, Caster MVP saving the day with Evil Eye.
Alright, looks like Killer Meteors actually picked this map.
Well, they played it, so it's their comfort, I suppose.
Man, this is really going. It did like 3 days later, maybe the match will start.
We have 5 countdowns going in. There we go. Such an iconic voice line when he says Infernal Shrines. I don't think I can either. Every time I say the name of the map, I hear his voice in my head. I guess I just played too much HOTS.
Alright.
There's Leoric again.
Yep, Infernal Shrines has gone for an Istaban on that Leoric. They don't want to be mopped. And we're going to see an immediate Johanna ban on the side of Killer Meteors.
Not only she's very strong, but she's especially strong on this map, so absolutely no surprise there. Again, Rhaegar, they don't want to deal with the doggo. It's still too strong in their opinion, so it's going to see what the second ban's going to be.
I'm kind of expecting here to see a Stukov ban. He is very strong on maps where they are point controlled. Looks like they're going to go for the Hanzo ban once again. Must be a target ban, I imagine.
Can't go wrong with the Hanzo. He's good everywhere, essentially. So, and this time, the Infernal Affairs snatched the first pick Brewing. They really love the Fairy Dragon. Both teams, actually.
Yep, definitely a little bit surprising. I feel like Brightwing is not that much of a priority pick anymore these days. Definitely still has her place. I just don't feel like it's a must pick in every scenario. But the team of Killer Meteors is going to respond with a Diablo Stukov. Diablo kind of gets a lot of trouble from Brightwing, especially at level 16 with armor reduction polymorph. He just kind of gets a little bit shredded here. And we're going to see once again, Cassia and May coming up from Infernal Affairs. Definitely a comfort pick on that Cassia.
Yeah, it worked last time, so I changed it. I do really like the early opening from the Meteors. It's a very, very strong combo so far. Diablo very good on this map. Stukov very good in general, and this has potential combo, of course, if Diablo slips into silence. It's very deadly, but Mei is known for her resilience, and so is Cassius. She can be a bit tough, but of course, everyone is tough until they get wall banged by Diablo, so we'll see how that goes. But she can definitely dish out some solid damage against Dibbles. And the team on the left decided to ban Hogger. He's very strong. One of the strongest bruisers probably at the moment, especially here, so no surprise there.
And we're gonna see a ban on the OP man on the side of Infernal Affairs. I'm not sure that OP man would have been a great pick against what they already have, considering they have a Brightwing that can just do a point and click spell armor.
Kalthas is pretty good on here. He has a lot of shrine clear, and he does punish enemies who are clumped up in a small location. It's exactly what you do on the shrine. So even if the spell armor might be rather punishing, so they don't want to deal with this, of course. And of course, you have to spread out to deal with the bombs, which is always annoying. In the meantime, Meteors, I have to check the name of the team every single time. Maybe one day I'll remember that. They opted to go for Lunara and Tassadar, so both DPS players are very locked.
If we're gonna see a Gul'dan pickup here, and with Irel once again, so it's pretty much the same comp they just played, except they have opted to go for Stukov. I mean, Brightwing instead of Stukov. I think I would have kept Stukov instead, to be honest. It's pretty good with Mei.
I would have picked the Stukov as well, because they worked so well last game. The silence after Mei stun. But, Bribing is fine too. Irel again, she's always good. And Gul'dan has massive wave, because it's going to be very helpful. And the Meteors went for Malthael. As much as I am a fan of Malthael, he might struggle quite a bit into this team. He does have decent damage, he does have decent clear on the shrines, but he's very squishy.
He is definitely very squishy. He did get buffed recently a little bit. I'm not sure to what extent. I have not played him yet.
They buffed his damage.
His damage.
Damage. Yes, and some of the talents to do more damage. So he's not tankier. He does have lower cooldown on the heal reduction, which could be very good versus Bribing, actually, to reduce the power of Z. If you want to get a quick kill with last rites. And he does a little bit more damage percentage, especially against frontliners.
Yeah, he definitely wants to keep in mind that there are... Well, at least his last rites targets can pretty much nullify it. Mei with her traits and Irel with her ult. He needs to watch out for those before he even thinks about doing it. Or pretty much does nothing. Let's just quickly go here and introduce this team, since Extra stole my blue side before. I'm just gonna take it right back. We're gonna see Dream Crusher playing the Diablo, Zinc on Stuka, Face Shifter on Malthael, Eye Cadet on Lunara, and True Afro on Tassadar.
Well, I'm gonna steal the red side from you this time, and we have Mei played by Stro, Jabba playing Cassia, Ragu on Bribing, Nathaniel playing Rel and Hexblades on Gul'dan, going for the suck again.
We are indeed seeing the suck, and looks like we are seeing similar talents once again. I actually didn't pay attention to Irel's talents last game, and we are going to see
again.
A Q build Tassadar. Typically, you do tend to see a W Tassadar a little bit more. Q build is still decent, but W build struggles a little bit less with the mana. So I do prefer that myself. We're going to see a Mei Slide Blizzard combo coming out on the Tassadar. However, we're not going to see the damage here get there in time to finish him off. Trace running Mei. Wow, Stro. That was a combo of Stro and Mei. Getting very low, however, the Killer Meteors are not going to be able to secure the kill. And the off lanes just go ahead and go to do their thing. Mei is going to Hearth, so the blue side is going to have a small advantage for a moment.
It's a bit of an unfortunate fact of having Lunara, whose damage just sometimes isn't enough to secure any kills. If there was most other heroes than Lunara, that Mei would have been 100% dead. Tassadar also doesn't have any stacks just yet, so his damage is pretty low too, but they're definitely getting there. I like they're showing a little bit more teeth, and they're already forcing some halves and low HP from their opponents, so that's good. Right now there's a bit of a brawl coming in. That stun is going to be really good versus Stukal, so he won't be able to forever sit there and channel his slimy hand to silence his foes.
Yep, I definitely agree. That's when I play Stukov. I do kind of struggle against Mays that know what they're doing and decide to stun me. It's very annoying. But at the same time, you did say that Lunara is definitely not fake damage anymore. She does have some talents that make her do a lot of damage. Like it's like a 1k Q or something, which is pretty brutal.
She needs to get to that level fast, and that's still quite a few away. So, in the meantime, blue team is a bit of a late on their easy camp, which allows the red team to grab that bot camp. So they definitely had on macro level. But Malthael is doing a great job at double soaking, so the XP is very, very much even.
Yeah, it looks like he's having he does do double soaking a little bit easier than Irel, especially with a pale horse. He can just go about exactly 25% faster than her.
Well, he did not go for the pale horse. He went for the Reaper. So
you're correct. I thought it was 10%. I thought it was 10%, and then I hovered it and didn't look at the name. Thank you for that.
No, it still increased the movement speed, so that works too. Gul'dan committing to that full sack build. He really likes that. In the meantime, there's a bit of Malthael trying to gank that Irel, but she seems to be doing just fine. And let's see if teams are committing to the hard camp. And looks like the blue team is, or not. They started it, but then they run around a little bit. Okay, now they're doing it. The red team is also on it. So both teams grabbing the bruiser. It's gonna clash top. Since the shrine is in mid, it's gonna be a frozen Punisher actually, so he is very powerful.
Yeah, looks like Killer Meteors might be a little bit, actually. They're not going to be late because they're going to opt to just potentially not soak bot lane. We're going to see Diablo come down here to get this wave. However, that does leave the rest of his team exposed to any potential threats. In the top side, we do have Irel pushing out the wave a little bit more. It doesn't look like she's going to bother clearing the camp, and we're going to see a brawl coming up in a second.
Yeah, but the Meteors are already far into it. Oh my god, that's again this combo of Tassadar being stunned and the Fan coming in doing a ton of damage. Tassadar has to retreat. He's dropping very low. There's the bribing Z onto the Irel, keeping her absolutely healthy. Both teams are very low, but the blue team is handily winning that objective despite them dropping relatively low. The red team pretty much gave it up, opted to soak instead. They're slightly ahead on XP, but not by a lot. So this should be quite an easy defense, I'd say, for them.
Well, they did get a whole tower bot lane, so I wonder if it was worth.
We'll see how much will they be able to defend. The structures are now frozen, and Tassadar is getting some nice stacks. This is a big John Cena 2-man stun. There's a cleanse coming in, and looks like the Meteors are gonna get a lot more than one tower because they got two and the wall.
Yeah, and that's definitely more than
damage
one.
Onto the fort. In the meantime, Malthael is pushing heavily against Irel, who is unfortunately out of mana. The Bruiser camp is still alive, so he's getting some structural damage top as well. So it seems like this was much worth it. And now Diablo is invading that easy camp, but he gets polymorphed, runs in onto the point, but the Mei stun zones them away. Diablo is trying to stay on there. There's the silence underneath everybody, doing a ton of damage. There's a driving Z, saving the Mei. There is still silence happening there. There's a ton of damage from the Tassadar. Tassadar, who's actually was standing on a point, my god, and he drops very low and dies to Cassia. In the meantime, everybody is actually dropping very low, losing HP. Diablo is low too, and looks like the red team is going to defend that invade with cooldown, slowly dying to Nara Poison, who might be slowly dying to the Cassia and Mei. Oh my god, what a bloodbath. Three members of the blue team died. Wow.
That is definitely a feels bad man invade. I could have sworn here that Killer Meteors for sure wins that invade with the amount of point control that they have. However, Diablo decided to let his Tassadar stand on the point instead. So, the tech cap goes over to Infernal Affairs. They get that cap, and they're going to go ahead and get even more value here in the bot lane.
Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate that Tassadar stepped into the point and actually got popped there. That was a pretty turning point if he stayed alive there using his walls, because he used wall to heal himself. Unfortunately, unsuccessfully, that would have been a little bit different. So there is an early level 10 for Infernal Affairs, and they're using it to grab a bot camp. Pretty safe, I should say. As for ultimates, we have pretty much same stuff as last game. Nothing new there, so... And the blue team is actually grabbing the level 10 now.
Yeah, we're gonna see a last rise coming out from Malthio. APOG come from Diablo, Leap from Lunara, and that's gonna be a black hole on Tassadar, and that's gonna be an engage on the Mei. However, she's gonna use the Ice Wall to get out. However, the black hole is gonna get her, and she is going to fall to the, well, not the last rise, because there's no stack. She just dies to Malthio.
Just died to the sweet percentage damage that Malthael does, and that was actually really well played by the blue team. The Horrify was not able to save them, and now they are pushing aggressively bot lane. I like how the blue team is getting more aggressive here and getting some things done. This is going to be, looks like it's going to be much more even game than the last one.
Yeah, it looks like Tassadar is already halfway done with his stacks. He's gonna start hurting in just a bit, especially once he gets 16. He's just gonna be slicing through those thick bodies of Mei, Irel, and the team of Infernal Affairs is just positioning here to secure this bottom camp. I mean, fort. And looks like they're gonna get it, but they are leaving the entirety of the enemy team on the top side, and Irel on her own. She does manage to jump over the wall after popping her ult, so she is going to survive for now, but that is a 120-second cooldown on that ult. Instead, though, Infernal Affairs has chosen to keep pushing down here and get bottom wall, which is actually a pretty good macro play. The next shrine will be bottom, so this could be a potential win condition later on.
Yeah, really good prepping that, already forcing the blue team to come back here. They got what they wanted, they got it from wall. As regards to the earlier engage, there was unfortunate mistiming from the Malthael ult, since it went off on Irel's ult. If it was a second or half a second later, it would have killed her, so that was a bit unfortunate, or lucky for Irel there, who's now brawling against Malthael, but since he has plenty of targets to heal off of, he's going to be absolutely fine. Both teams are rushing top, but the red team does have a little advantage, and they did take down the front wall, so it's going to be, oh my god, big ice wall.
Yeah, there's gonna be an APOC on a Brightwing that's gonna blink away. Tassadar, using his black hole, gets 2 targets. However, not a lot happens there. We're gonna see a Fear catching this Tukov and the Tassadar, who's gonna die to a jump from Irel. It's not Irel. Mei falling awfully low here, getting leapt by the Lunara. However, she's not gonna have enough damage to secure that kill. Diablo getting awfully low here. However, he's not gonna fall, and Killer Meteors is still going to secure this objective. Oh, that's going to be a last ride coming on Irel. This time, it's actually going to take her down. Oh, John Cena gets a triple stun followed here by this... wow, silence! Can't speak English today from the Stukov. But it's not going to be enough to get more kills, and it's going to be an Arcane Punisher here. Getting through the top side without any gates, so he should be getting at least half a fort, but it looks like they're chunking it down pretty quickly. The blue side opting to not step into it.
Yes, they were very low, especially Diablo, who had no HP. Took a while to heal him up. Now Stukov steps out, takes a little damage. There's the Fent coming in. Oh, the Valkyrie is gonna land on that poor deer, who leaps out right into the ice wall. And Diablo is trying to save his teammates, stunning, flipping all around, and Lunara leaps out of the stun, but unfortunately dies. There's a huge black hole running on 3 people. Tassadar is dropping very low. There's the golden Cassia damage, securing that kill, and Stukov uses his flailing swipe.
I think that's what actually happened. It's a failing swipe, am I right? And in the meantime, Malthael stealing the siege cam from the enemy side. At least he's gonna get something out of this one. Diablo's still here though, and he is still getting chased on by the Infernal Affairs team. He does have full souls and spell shield, so he's not gonna go down.
Malthael defending that bottom lane, but the Infernal Affairs is doing really well, even though they lost the objective. They managed to get a couple kills, drop the blue team so low that it couldn't follow up on the Punisher. The Punisher took down about 40% of the fort's HP. They stole their camp, they got a bunch of kills. They are now over a level ahead. They have massive structural damage, especially bot, and Infernal Affairs looks like they are in a fantastic position on the map right now, especially now that they've stole the easy camp.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go here for a very aggressive rotate here on the Malthael. We're going to see a stun combo coming out from the Mei, and he's just going to get immediately deleted.
And that gives them level 16, so again, they have a talent lead advantage, and it's a pretty big one, and a lot of pushes going on. Blue team is trying to catch up with XP, but Malfield being dead robs them a bit of a wave clear, and someone who's gonna be taking care of the bot, because the red team has the fort there, which means the catapult pressure is building up, and that's going to be a huge issue very, very quickly. But the blue team was probably looking anywhere else, they sniffed it out and backed away, saying, nope, I'm not getting ganked today.
Yeah, that's a great choice there to back out. Now with the neutral siege camp, Infernal Affair is going to opt to put a little bit more pressure on this bottom keep. They do have a camp and a kata. Another catapult's probably coming soon. They're actually not going to hard commit. They're just going to push the wave in and just retreat. Maybe opting to open up the map mid instead.
Yeah, trying to get pressure in every lane. Urel is pushing in top, doing a bit of damage. We see pings onto the fort happening. Someone's going there. It is Malfield trying to defend that, but the red team right now has a huge amount of momentum. They still have a level advantage. I'm a little bit surprised they're not playing a little bit more aggressively with those 16s, since Meteors were still far away from it. Right now they're catching up to it, so they pretty much just poked around and lurked in the bushes, maybe hoping for an accidental teamfight or something, but right now they are engaging, and Diablo gets a wall stun onto the Mei. There's a ton of damage happening, but there's a big combo, big stun landing on the Tassadar, and Stukov, followed up by great damage, and there's a big ice for Black Hole peeling them away, but Tassadar dies. There's a huge amount of damage coming in, flailing, my god, sorry, I'm not doing it on purpose. Flailing swipe is used, but unfortunately Stukov goes down, and Diablo loses his soul. There's a huge amount of momentum going on from the red team.
Okay, come on, this time it actually was a failing swipe. Unfortunately, they were already on top of him, so it was not able to do a lot to save himself there. So we're going to go ahead and Malfield's just going to opt to clear top, which is a wise choice at the moment. He does not have his full team to help him out here. This Mei is actually doing a lot. They do have a hero that stands still for pretty much everything he does, so that's just easy stuns coming out for Mei.
Two heroes actually, since also Stukov is challenging. I mean, he did not go for the lower duration on the hand, so it's pretty much indefinite. That Mei is landing those excellent stun combos, and then we have a Fed plus cooldown damage follow-up on this, which does a ton of DPS, as we saw. Absolutely smashes those fragile DPSs that we have. I honestly would have liked to see Tassadar going for the spell armor, one of his talents. I don't remember which tier it is, but I know he does have a spell armor.
It is 13.
It helped him, 13 is helped him quite a bit, but he took for the slow instead. And the Infernal Affairs right now, they are pushing in with the Punisher onto the keep. The talents are equal, so this might be a good defense for Meteors.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree that he definitely should have taken Shadow Stalker, I believe it's called, or Shadow Walk, something like that. With the amount of times that he is getting cut out, he definitely could have used a little bit of disengage and stealth to deal with that. The team of Infernal Affairs is not going to do a lot more after that keep, which is very smart from them. Instead, they're just gonna rotate mid and take that fort, possibly turning down for that siege camp. Possibly not.
We'll see. They don't have level 20 yet, and the blue team is using that. Diablo is engaging in, but he gets polymorphed. Mei misses this time, but the Diablo is very, very low. Gets Apoc off, but gets feared and absolutely taken down. Lara trying to leap. Urel using her trait, but Black Hole is landing on 3 people, and unfortunately the blue team is all dropping extremely low, and they're all dying. My god, I couldn't even get to that point in my commentary, and they died so quickly, and this gives the red team level 20, and GG in the chat. Looks like it is going to be.
GG's been called. I mean, the death timers at this point are rather high, and they do have some decent siege coming out from the side of Infernal Affairs, so this should pretty much be core here. Yep, this is falling very quickly here at 70%, and still 10 seconds for the next member of Killer Meteors to come out. Yeah, we're gonna see another and last failing swipe here that will fail to save the core, and that's gonna be a GG for Infernal Affairs.
Very dominant performance by the demons from Hell, from the Inferno. Really, really well played. Well, the Mei wasn't amazing, I have to say. She played extremely well, did a ton of job. And again, we have the offlaner on the side of Meteors doing top hero damage. Not by a lot, but still.
Well, that was the case last game as well. The Mei just really was able to do whatever she wanted, and They were so far away each time that anytime the Diablo went in, he just got way too low to actually do anything meaningful in the fight. So they did a great job keeping that Diablo in check, and the Bright with the armor reduction polymorph, as I said before, was just too much for him to handle.
Yeah, I feel like they just kind of missed the follow-up damage. The mage was just disrupting them so much, even though Diablo did go in, the APOC and everything, but I felt like they just didn't have enough potential to kill, especially the front line from the side of Infernal first. And they had such a strong combo. Mage goes in, lands the stun, and even without Stuk of Silence, they have Cassia and Gul'dan following up on that, which is absolutely enough to kill anybody. In the meantime, Diablo is getting polymorphed, so he can't even peel through his team. That was just very, very well, very clean execution from Infernal Affairs, and Meteors were just struggling to really gain any foothold. Both the macro play was okay. It's just in the team fights they unfortunately were falling apart a little bit, and controlling the enemy team.
Yeah, this win here actually puts Infernal Affairs in spot number 1 once the scores are updated. Everybody else has already played 2 matches. And that's going to be a clean number 1. Everybody, the second is only 5 points. They will have a whole 6 points. So,
well deserved.
Pretty great start for the season for them. They're already 2 dominations up. And if they keep doing dominations, there's nobody else is just going to be able to catch up to them.
And they are securing themselves very strong position on the leaderboard at the moment. Strong contender for winning the whole thing. The moment, very dominant performance. So yeah.
Yep, and we do have a couple members here from the winning team in chat asking if we're doing a review. I honestly don't feel great.
We have some members.
I am
the winning
half
team
dying.
in the chat. Hello,
I am half dying today, so I think I'm going to call it here. Maybe next time because I'm just dead.
I really like how you guys went for the exact same draft in both games. I mean, if it works, why change it, right?
Pretty much.
Clearly carried you to victory in the first one, clearly carried you to victory in the second one. If potential future enemies were watching this, expect some May bans in the future games. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yep, there's definitely going to be some stats for that one now.
Oh yeah.